I spoke earlier about curiosity being a building block of critical thinking, and I believe that people, young and old alike, are inherently curious folks. We want to know how things work, why policies are made, when something will affect us, and how extensive that will be. Yet, and as the saying goes, many may buy into the notion that curiosity kills the cat. Asking too many questions is sometimes seen as divesting energies in something that's irrelevant. It sidetracks from the task orientation. In a world that seeks efficiency, maximize profit, and maximum satisfaction, it is easy to take the beaten and proven path. But by doing so, we have sacrificed our natural instinct for curiosity as well. I remember how I met Professor in NUS, Professor Lee Peng-Yi, proved theorems during lectures. He certainly knew all the right steps to do so, but interestingly, he would deliberately permit himself to take detours, try alternatives, until he met with an obstacle. Was he wasting his students' time as he meandered and hit roadblocks? Not in the least. In fact, his trajectory was illuminating because as he traced his step back, he talked about why this path did not work and how we would perhaps try another path instead. His deep curiosity was infectious, and I remember it fondly until now. Curiosity is about getting lost, by allowing oneself to do so without fear. Any inventor or artist will tell you the same thing, that the fun part of creation is when you're trying to find your way around, when you're experimenting and discovering the world in the process. There should be no fear in that, but rather we should become accustomed to the promise that it brings with it. Now, once again, the question is, where is the best and safest place to allow young people to be lost and explore? The answer again is our education institutions. They are well equipped to guide young people, young explorers and creators in life, as they find their own individual paths. Through this detour, they can discover curvatures and gradients. Instead of a straight line movement from point A to B, they can explore shapes, shades, and become more three-dimensional in their outcome, in their outlook. Unfortunately, our education system is too preoccupied with quick results that there is little time permitted for such holistic growth and exploration. I don't know how many teachers can do as Prof. Lee did in my maths class. I don't know how many people get to benefit from that curiosity so that they learn what doesn't work as much as what can. In today's competitive, result-oriented world, we tussle to be number one all the time. This narrative has also permeated our education system and has become part of our cultural DNA. We may laugh about how Singaporeans are kiasu and kiasi, but in accepting these traits, with humor, we are also legitimizing these self-serving attitudes and behavior. We have normalized this race for instant gratifications, for accolades when we are winners and not second best. So to ensure results, we instill discipline and rigor. We tell our young people, yes, it's good for you to try new things, but make sure you get those grades and you will fall behind in life. We remind them that life is a competition. Fulfillment is to be the best. But is competition the best way so that we can be? I seriously doubt so. Like it or not, competition creates silos and alienations. We are a small nation of about 5.6 million. Should we create a race to the last for 5.6 million individuals so that some privileged one amongst us or some able-bodied among us can be the best? How about harnessing our collective capabilities instead through collaboration so that we as a nation can move mountains at no one's expenses? Can our education system reflect an ideal of how we want our society to be, like what our fellow members, Ms. Dennis Paul, has just said? In my opinion, the schools are places where we can learn such life skills, that there is much merit in collaboration. A proliferation of competition can lead to a cancerous situation. In removing competitive elements from our education system, schools can become more inclusive and equitable, and young people can discover the full potential of their innate curiosity. Humanities and the cultivation of curiosity is not only reserved for the academically inclined. Unlike the situation during my time in school, you no longer need to be more proficient in language and writing to be studying literature or the arts. Rather, curiosity is a leveler. It is present whether you're academically inclined or otherwise, and it should continue to be nurtured regardless of how smart, how privileged you are. But I can imagine what the rebuttal to this might be. Do we have time to be curious? How do we make time for quality learning through discovery and having deep discussion on the humanities?